Stacktastic, the weekly web show for the avid comic book reader and those who aspire to become so. This week I'm going to take a closer look at the latest unlikely candidate to find themselves in the New 52 spotlight, James Gordon Jr. How did DC's version of the Son of Homeland become its very own Hannibal Lecter, terrorizing Sister Barbara and just this month being drafted into the Suicide Squad? Is this a good idea or just another New 52 sales gimmick? Plus, as always, my recommendations of what comics to pick up or download this week. Oh, and if you're going to be at Phoenix Comic-Con this weekend, be sure to stop by the Boom Studios booth and say hi. I'll be there Saturday and Sunday. Now let's get started. Didn't even know that Commissioner Gordon had a son? Well, then you need to read Batman Year One, because even though that story is about to be retold New 52 style, it's still worth reading. In Frank Miller's classic origin story, a freshly minted Batman saves Gordon's newborn son in a climactic third-act action sequence, a vital moment in forging a bond of trust between these guardians of Gotham. However, no good deed goes unpunished, especially in the soap opera world of comics, as it was later revealed that the fall caused brain damage that resulted in psychotic tendencies. Yes, turns out Gordon was raising a future inmate of Arkham. Now, to some degree, this development plays in nicely with the web of drama woven through the Batverse. But does it create a knot? Gordon is a symbol of purity in a police department and city rotted through with corruption, and to give him a homicidal son tarnishes what the Gordon name stands for, as upheld by not only him but his daughter Barbara and second wife Sarah. Speaking of Barbara and Sarah, their tragic interactions with the Joker already weave Gordon into that dramatic web I was just talking about. I mean, just how much pain can one character be put through before it borders on masochistic? And aren't we already going through that with the senseless murder of Damian Wayne? Anyway, this never used to be much of a problem, as the Norman Bates angle was hidden in the basement. But even before the New 52, Jr. caught the eye of none other than DC architect Scott Snyder. Snyder brought Gordon's son back for a story arc in Detective Comics, which interestingly highlighted his former friendship with Dick Grayson. As I've said before, ladies' man Grayson could use all the male friends he can get, and it's interesting to think of a next-generation twisted version of the Batman-Jim Gordon relationship. Once the New 52 kicked off, Snyder pulled Jr. through to the other side, where he was a brief but key player in Court of Owls. And he would also factor into DC's next big Batman event, Death of the Family, and Batgirl's title, where Gail Simone is building him up to be one of Barbara's greatest enemies. Didn't Gail have Batgirl fighting Gordon Jr. doppelganger, the Calculator, pre-New 52? Is she insinuating the Babs can only defeat nerds? But looks like Jr. is Amanda Waller's problem now, as the revamped Suicide Squad revealed that he's not only been drafted into the team, but has a mad crush on her. He also wants to call her mother, not only further reinforcing the Norman Bates comparison, but confirming that the first Mrs. Gordon just can't catch a break. I'm not thrilled that Waller might be upstaged in her own title, but this could also be the opportunity for her to get a gripping B storyline. See, I have no doubts that New 52 Waller is a good idea, but I'm still not sure about James Gordon Jr., who, by the way, seems to be getting more page time these days than his pop. Now that's psychotic. So far, Trinity War has been mostly whispers and speculation, but this week we finally get a glimpse of DC's major crossover summer event with Justice League number 20, Prologue to Trinity War. Looks like as the Marvelverse takes on Thanos in their Infinity Summer event, the DCverse will fight another giant purple guy as well. The titles even rhyme. I know there's nothing new under the sun, but do the big two need to sunbathe in the exact same spot? DC gets a little more creative with the debut of the Green Team, where a bunch of rich teenagers decide to save the world. Who else wishes Amanda Connor wasn't just doing the covers? She killed it on Before Watchmen Silk Spectra. Bad news is that trade doesn't hit until early July, but good news is it includes the equally stellar Before Watchmen Minutemen, both written by Darwin Cook. And over at Marvel, it's the return of some familiar faces. First, it's time for The Thing's annual day of being a real man, which always makes for some real good stories. Green Goblin stories aren't too shabby either, and he's also back in action to face off Superior Spider-Man. Will he recognize his former co-conspirator Otto Octavius in the body of his greatest enemy? Dan Slott continues to keep things interesting. American McGee has also been known to do the same, and the man who famously reimagined Alice turns his attention to Red Riding Hood for Dark Horse. This action takes place in Japan, which is, of course, timelessly cool. Finally, another comic from Image. This time, Man of Action's Joe Casey launches Bounce, who he describes as the ultimate slacker superhero, relatable and reliable. That's what we want in our superheroes, right? And that's this week's Stacktastic. I'm Grace Randolph for Think About the Ink, and hope to see you back on Friday for Between the Pages. Until then, happy reading.